Co-governance has become very popular with the political left. All of the left-wing parties support co-governance to varying degrees. But what actually is co-governance? Co-governance is essentially power sharing between Pakeha and Maori. The intention is that Pakeha govern Pakeha, Maori govern Maori, and both groups collaborate on matters of common interest. This idea was born out of the Maori text of the Treaty of Waitangi. It is often said that Maori ceded sovereignty. That is not true. Maori granted the British permission to set up a new government to keep the increasingly unruly settler population under control. Of course, this agreement was soon shamelessly violated by the British, who went about setting up one government with total control of the country. And now, over 180 years later, people want to see this historical injustice set right. That is pretty much what co-governance is. I disagree with co-governance. I don't think modern New Zealand can be shoehorned into the confines of the treaty, at least not properly. This would be unimaginably divisive. I also don't think such a thing would ever get majority support, making it politically unviable. So instead, we get weak half measures like those introduced by the previous Labour government. The fact is that New Zealand has outgrown the confines of the treaty. Maori are massively integrated with the Pakeha population, both culturally and genetically. We cannot force modern New Zealand into the confines of such an archaic 19th century agreement. The treaty belongs to a radically different era. It does not fit the current context in the slightest. It comes from a time when Maori were highly concentrated and governed by iwi. If the Maori population was still highly concentrated and separate from Pakeha, then co-governance might be viable. But the Maori population is highly dispersed and heavily integrated. This makes rigid racial governments totally impractical. You cannot force such a racial agreement onto modern New Zealand. It is unviable and destructive, and it has played into the hand of the right by giving them the perfect culture war. The faster the left drops this issue, the better. It is a lost cause, kept alive by white guilt and self-serving iwi elites. We must move into the future. Forcing the past back upon ourselves will not right any wrongs. It will only create new ones.